time to check your money with America's money maven, Vicki Brackens. Vicki Brackens is the president of Brackens Financial Solutions Network, LLC, and a registered representative of Lincoln Financial Advisors Corp, member SIPC. And so, Vicki, how are you doing today?
Well, George, I'm doing great. I'm really thrilled, like most people are, about the weather.
Yes.
I can't believe, when Central New York hits spring, summer, whatever we want to call it, summer, spring, it's a beautiful place to be. I also want to remind everyone about our campaign as far as Zero No More, and the fact that we're all taking a pledge that no longer will we allow the next generation to come in and start their financial lives at zero. That they will not continue to have to run the race in lane 8 out of 8, expecting to be competitive. This is the last week of our logo and branding and T-shirt competition. So I can't wait to see the final submissions that will be coming in this week concerning Zero No More. Just as a reminder, first prize is $150 plus the publication of the logo. So it's going to be on everything and seen everywhere. Second prize being $100 and the third prize being $75.
So, Vicki, here's what I want to do.
Okay.
We know a lot of people, know a lot of talented young people, graphic designers. So get the additional submissions in now so that your young person can put some money in their pocket.
For the summer.
Actually, they don't have to be young. They could just be anybody. So let's get that submission in to info@brackensfsn.com.
That's correct. Okay. So over this last year, we've established our number one goal as being increasing our net worth every year. And I want to remind everyone what that formula looked like, which was human capital plus financial assets minus liabilities actually equals net worth. Our big goal was to capture and retain and transfer as much of our net worth as we possibly could. Well, as fortune would have it, George, current events right now have given us an opportunity to talk more about the impact of liabilities, or as we would say, debt, on this formula.
Yes, yes.
You probably noticed in the current events section that Stacey Abrams, who is a candidate for governor, the first black woman, in fact, to ever be a candidate for governor in the state of Georgia, had a monumental victory in the fact that she was now the Democratic candidate for this role.
History.
Okay. Now, she has been in the news because there's been some concern or voiced concern, about the fact that she is in debt. In fact, to the tune of about $200,000. But here's what I noticed when we looked at how she responded. First of all, she took responsibility as far as servicing the debt.
Correct.
She has payment plans for everything that is related to her debts right now. She did not ignore or hide from her creditors. I know this used to bother me all the time, and I'm not a comedian, but we make the jokes.
Right.
About not picking up the phone and
right.
changing our voices and all of those types of things, which sometimes puts a mindset that is the way to actually approach when you have debt issues that you can't resolve.
And in many ways, it also sends the message to it's a modeling behavior that will also continue down generations unless it's checked.
Exactly. So the fact that she said very emphatically that she is on time with those payments, she's made arrangements with all of the creditors, including IRS, shows a level of integrity and an example that she's setting for others to follow. In short, she's being very responsible as a debtor. I was encouraged to read this story because she's very honest. She has taken the time to do a self-evaluation about how she got here. And she has just basically stated the facts. But here's the one thing that the question has been. Does the fact that she has debt eliminate her from being a viable candidate as governor?
Right, that's the piece she wrote in Forbes.
Exactly, that's the piece that was there. And I would say no, and here's why I say no. The state of Georgia is in debt. The federal government is in trillions and trillions of dollars in debt. In fact, heck, the president is in debt. what you find is that debt is an instrument many times used to create capital. It's also used to create leverage. It's how you handle the debt. So when we're talking about net worth, I want everyone to understand that I do not necessarily expect everyone's net worth to come in with liabilities at zero.
Right.
It's what you're doing with the liabilities and how you are addressing them and how you are planning and scheduling to either eliminate or reduce them in a proportionate manner against what your income and your assets are. That's most key and most important here. So I wish her well. And if Georgia sees fit to actually elect her, I pray that through her administration she will enact policies that encourage and mandate rigorous and consistent financial education in all levels of schools throughout Georgia. By the way, as a side note, she said that she was repaying her IRS debt through a scheduled plan. Most people don't know that you can actually make an arrangement, an agreement with IRS to actually pay off your overdue taxes, and they tend to just try and ignore it. Don't ever,
It will never go away.
ever ignore IRS, okay? And the final thing is she was talking about her parents and the fact that she was maintaining actually the financial responsibility for more than one household.
Right.
Sometime in the near future, George, I think we need to have a conversation about
Well,
family.
that, I think, is one of the major considerations, particularly in our community.
Exactly. Okay. The fact that she is carrying the responsibilities. I loved what she said. She said, "I'm the first person in my family to make real money." We know what she's talking about when
Right.
she says to make real money.
Yeah.
Okay. And so taking that real money position or being the first in the family to stand in that position, she has taken on possibly more responsibility than she could handle, which has created the additional debt. But we need to really have a conversation around those dynamics in the future.
How far should you go? And it's interesting, like you said. I think the key takeaway here, Vicki, is that people are afraid to face
That's
the decisions that they've made,
Right.
and that only cycles the problem.
Exactly.
And so what you're saying is you got to face it.
Just face it. Okay, and that was what was so impactful for me when I read the piece in Forbes, the fact that she stood up and faced it and didn't try and spin it. This is what it was, this is what happened, and this is how I'm addressing it, which shows me a level of responsibility and integrity that is to be championed.
Blessings.
So I will say at this point in time, if you have additional questions, you can always reach me at info@brackensfsn.com. And for all our listeners, my plate is full.
Vicki Brackens is the president of Brackens Financial Solutions Network, LLC, and a registered representative of Lincoln Financial Advisors Corp., member FIPC.